Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a car wash. I'll also show you how to make a car and a motorcycle. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Watch until the very end to see where the car wash gets placed in the city. This is the amount of space required to make the car wash. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Begin by placing a smooth quartz block on the ground. Place 2 light blue concrete on top, 1, 2. Then a smooth quartz slab on top of that. Extend to the right by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then place 2 light blue concrete extending down, and then a smooth quartz block to connect to the ground. Then extend back the smooth quartz block by 8 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then place a blue concrete on top of that 8th block, extend left, and then place a glass block, light blue concrete, glass block, concrete, glass, concrete. Place concrete on top of all of those blocks, and then a row of smooth quartz slab on top of everything that we have just placed. We then want to come to the opposite side of the build and do the exact same thing. Extend backwards by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Light blue concrete on top. Extend right 1. Glass, concrete, glass, concrete, glass, concrete. Concrete on top of that entire row, and then smooth quartz slab on top of that. Next, we are going to dig out the entire area in between the 2 walls of the car wash. Place light grey concrete along the left and right sides of the area that we have just dug out. Polished andesite inside of the light grey concrete on both sides. And finally, stone brick slabs in the middle. We then want to place rails along the andesite. Next, fill the roof of the car wash in using smooth quartz slab. Next, we have to make those giant colourful brushes that wash all of the stuff off of your car. So, starting from the back of the car wash, we want to place an orange, yellow, and orange concrete powder extending up from the ground next to the back window. We then want to leave a gap of 1 and then do the same thing. And then one more time, gap of 1, do the exact same thing. Then we want to come to the opposite side and repeat the process. So orange, yellow, orange. I'm not 100% certain that I like this, but you can place some hoppers in the roof in between the sets of brushes, and that is where the water would come from, but I don't know if this ruins it or not. I'll let you guys decide. But what we do need to do, however, is place an end rod extending from the center light blue concrete that we have at the top front of the build, and in between these we want to place concrete powders. So if we place string underneath these, this will stop the concrete powder falling, and we will place on the left side a yellow, orange, yellow extending across. And there we go, that is the inside of the car wash complete. Next, we will make the sign. On the left and right side of the car wash towards the front, but 1 row inwards, we want to place a row of 5 smooth quartz block extending up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with a smooth quartz slab on top, and come over to the opposite side, 1 row inwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, smooth quartz slab on top. We then want to connect the slabs together left and right with a row of light blue concrete, and underneath it add an additional row of concrete, like this. Next, we want to write out the word wash using banners. Throw down a loom, open it up, place a white banner in there with some black dye. The first letter we want to make is W, so that is the chevron pattern. Grab your white dye, put that in there instead, and apply the base indented pattern. Throw black dye back in, and apply pale dexter, and then the pale sinister pattern, W. Next is A, so Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, Chief, Fess. That is A. Next is S, so brand new banner, and apply the Chief pattern, base, and then bend. S. Next is H, so Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, Fess. Perfect. Wash. Next, let's make the sign. Come all the way up to the top of the sign and place a red wool in this position. Extend it to the right. Place stone buttons left and right of the red wool. Place glass on top of the wool and red carpet on top of the glass. Extend the wool an additional row forwards and place glow item frames in front. There we have the front of a car, which we then want to place wash next to, so literally just right of the car, W-A-S-H. Car wash. Next, some landscaping. Come all the way to the back of the car wash and dig 6 rows behind these 3 middle rows where the car would drive on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can then fill this area in with grey concrete. We then want to dig outwards towards the road, so take the last 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and simply just dig all the way to the edge of the grid or the road, wherever it is that you're building this. Add a row of poppies extending out of the back of the car wash all the way to the edge of the grid, and then add a row of oak leaves extending from the sign here all the way back along the edge of the grid, and then extend all the way towards the corner of the grid, leaving a gap of 3 on the end. And this just helps us to box in the car wash. We also want to place a row of leaves extending out of the back of the opposite side of the sign until we overhang the car wash by 1 row, and then we want to just flare outwards too so that we line up with the opposite side of leaves. Next, we want to dig in front of our leaves 1 row and then towards the road. Place lime terracotta inside of these 2 holes, and then we are able to remove the rest of the grass in and around the car wash and replace it with lime terracotta. Next, remove the grass and white concrete in front of our 2 patches of lime terracotta and replace those areas with smooth stone. At the front of the car wash, we are going to remove these 5 middle rows that coincide with the inside of the car wash and place cyan terracotta in front. We then want to dig left and right and remove the grass and the grid and place smooth stone here instead. And we want to do the same on the right side, although it looks a little bit different as we have a little bit more space. But the idea is the same. Which just leaves this area here on the right of the car wash, which we want to remove. And then on the right side, add a row of cyan terracotta extending from the car wash outwards, white concrete powder along the inside of that, 3 rows of terracotta, 1, 2, 3, then a row of white concrete powder, and then 2 rows of cyan terracotta. With the landscaping complete, it's now time for some decoration. So come all the way down to the bottom of this sign and begin by placing a polished black stone wall extending out of it. Dark prismarine block to the right of that, dark prismarine stairs on top, and on top of the wall place an end rod. Place a painting in front of the stair with a stone button in front. This can be a power washer or tire pressure checker. You'll have to use a little bit of imagination. All the way over here on the right side, we want to create a table by placing 2 light grey concrete next to each other in this corner, and then an item frame on top of the left concrete, sponge inside of the item frame, next to it a brewing stand, and then on the ground to the right a cauldron with water in the cauldron. Next, we actually have to make a sign, so I'm coming back to the loom, throw in a blue banner with white dye, and begin by placing the pale pattern. Then place light blue dye in there and apply the chief pattern. Then put white dye back in and apply the lozenge pattern. Then come all the way back to the entrance of the car wash, place a stone brick wall here, 2 light blue concrete on top, and a light blue banner in front of the light blue concrete. So this just indicates that this is the way in. You could even place it on this side as well, but I do think that that could possibly be a bit too much. Side note, this is meant to look like an arrow. Next, we are going to make a self-service machine just in front of the actual car wash itself. Place a light grey concrete here in this position, smooth quartz stair on top, painting in front of that, and a stone button in front of that. Next, let's add an actual car to the car wash. Begin by placing a row of 4 red wool on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, add another row of 4 just to the right. Place glow item frames in front of the 2 rows of red wool, with oak trapdoors flipped up on the left and right sides at the front and the back. Place 2 red wool in this position, with glass block in front, and then red carpet on top of the wall and on top of the glass, and there we go. Super simple car. Let me also show you how to make a motorcycle really quickly. So in this parking bay, to the right of the car wash, I'm just going to place a black concrete, red wall behind it, smooth quartz stairs behind that, and then a black concrete behind that. Then, polished black stone pressure plates on top of each one of the wheels, stone buttons on the sides of the black concrete, levers on the sides of the red wool, and then if you want to add a windshield, you can, but it's not necessary to get the effect of the bike, just like this. So you can have this with or without, it doesn't really matter, it's a personal choice. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, that is your car wash complete. This tutorial may be over, but the video is not. We must now take our car wash and add it into our city. I really want my car wash to be placed next to my petrol station. They just go together so well in my mind, like jam on toast. Unfortunately, that means that IKEA has to take a hike. We're going to place it behind Jump World for now, but it's not really a big deal. I never really wanted IKEA to be here long term anyway, so there we go. That's a lot better. And that's it. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you're looking for more things to build, look no further than the Mini City Builds playlist down below in the description. At the time of recording this video, we have officially hit over 60 tutorials in the playlist. That's pretty cool. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.